reviews. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We're doing BMF Season 2, Episode 7, Both Sides of the Fence. So come to find out, Bryant was the one who snatched Mickey. Forgive me for my predictions in the last video, thinking that it was the PA niggas. Then we get to the repass for Saki, and everybody is like looking for B Mickey, and clearly Meech didn't tell everybody what happened. So Terry is clearly the only person who knows. So Terry say like, man, I don't know why you looking for B Mickey. I know you disappointed in the fact that he snitched. Meech is giving very much, at least he told me the truth before he gave away too much information, you know? So aside from that, they end up talking about exactly what I thought that they would, about backdooring fucking K9 for the connect. So Brian and Jen is like still on the hunt for the bricks because they don't want to get in trouble, because Smitty then already came to both of them like, look, I need them bricks and they about to do inventory, and if I, like, I'm gonna have to rat you out, like. So I'm like, damn. And then he didn't put Jen in on it, so it, like, Jen like feel like she has to help him figure out the brick situation too. So I'm just like, oh my God, now Jen is just sucked into the sinkhole with this nigga Brian, like. And she's goofy, like, she's clearly attracted to him, like they're retarded. So Brian and Jen decide to go to the repass. And at the repass, Pastor Swift basically tell Meech and them, like, even though they paid tip for the repass, they paid for this, they paid for that, he basically tell them that they still need to repent because what they doing to the neighborhood, this, that, and the third. Sir, you shiesty pastor. You gonna keep taking their money and keep utilizing it for certain things, but you're not about to, you gonna keep trying to judge them too? So we in the repass, everybody, you know, saying they paying their respects or whatever. And here go Jen and Brian strolling up with the slow clap and talking big shit to Meech. And I'm just like, bro, why the fuck would you show up to a repass, busting up in there with that man, friends and family, and you in there looking for some fucking kilos that you ain't had no business taking in the first place? You ain't had no business taking them in the first place. And the whole time he's standing in there, I'm like, damn, I had to remember what year this was. So I'm like, why the fuck is he smoking inside that building? And the whole time he's smoking, I'm like, yo, he ain't gonna do nothing but dump that cigarette in their drink. He ain't gonna do nothing but dump their cigarette in their drink. And sure enough, on his way out, after he talk all his shit and he tell Meech, like, I'm gonna need my shit back, basically, he drops the cigarette in the drink and then walks out. And I'm just like, Jen, just like Pastor Swift told Jen, you need to keep an eye on him because you're new and you don't know what he's capable of or what he's done so far to fucking sabotage people or attract people. So she need to watch him. Guessing after the repass, Meech had to go make his rounds. So of course he go see his baby mother. And you know, Meech is basically telling her like he only feels safe when he with her, this, that, and the third. Yeah, I bet. Because that ain't Lamar bitch, and Lamar don't know where the fuck she live. So yeah, I bet you do feel safe over there. But the police know where she live because that's where they snatched your ass up from the last time. So I don't think you should be hanging out over there either. So you got Charles and Lucille in this next scene, and Charles is devastated, sad as shit. So Lucille come in with her little Wendy's uniform. She ready to go to work, and Charles like, damn, basically, Charles got to find a way to get bread because Terry done cashed out the driving business. But at the end of the day, I don't blame Terry because Charles was trying to call way too many shots with the driving business when it literally was his accident money that started that business. So I don't understand. Like, so Lucille tell Charles that she about to head to church, so Pastor Swift asked her to, coordinate a women's group, this, that, and the third. Charles take that as an opportunity for him to pick up a night shift. I mean, because he feel like he need the extra money anyway, since they don't have the car business and they not about to be taking money from the boys. So he agreed to take a night shift. Lucille, naive ass, talking about we'll figure it out. Will y'all, or will you continue to take money from the boys like you probably been doing anyway on the side? So Brian and Jen is in the car and they basically talking about like how they about to fix this situation because they not about to get him back from Meech right then and there. So he's like, look, I got a medical grade dude that we can flip and get the bricks back, but it will be counterfeit. Like, so first one was he has to apologize for Jen for winging her into this whole thing. And the thing about Jen is, look, she like, I'm willing to help you replace these bricks only because I don't want to lose my job. So, but again, Jen, it's more than that. Like, you feel some type of obligation to this man when you shouldn't. When you really shouldn't. Like, y'all both about to end up jobless. And she better be prepared. So, like I said, Meech was making his rounds. So he ended up at Monique's house, and Monique is doing like her little niece hair. He give her a bag for her and then a bag for the kids. Now, the little cousin who had she doing get to try to reach all in her bag. First one was little girl, that could have been lingerie. And you're touching all on stuff, and she all like, I can look at it, I'm 16. 16? That don't mean you grown. See, that's the problem with kids that's 16, 17, they think they fucking grown. Like, so Meech like, I don't care, it's still too young for you, right? And I just felt like Meech was looking at her weird, and I was just like, oh my God, not another pedophilia moment. Please stop looking at that girl. Please stop looking at that girl. She told him that the next time he come to Atlanta, she gonna show him around. Monique ended up sending her out the room. She told Meech, like, we still got to handle this Lamar situation, this, that, and the third. She like, how about this? If we tag team, we can get it together, the two of us. He like, I'm not about to have the mother of my kids involved in this shit with Lamar. She like, I'm his Achilles heel. At the end of the day, I could basically finesse Lamar all day, every day, just by calling him up and meeting with him. Meech like, he don't think it's a good idea. But Monique like, look, this ain't about how you feel about it. She like, I'm not about to have this nigga be acting crazy. He already smacked me up in front of my daughter last year. I'm not about to have him acting crazy when he pop up because you don't know how to handle this situation. So I'm like, all right, she might have a point. Like, he do anything for Monique. So she very well could set him up. So we'll see. So come to find out, LaWanda and Big Wanda then took Meech, his belt, his jacket, his chain, all that shit she done took to a psychic, a grifty ass psychic. Because the whole time she fake giving them answers, this bitch is stealing everything that they done took in there. The chain, the designer belt. She probably gonna sell his jacket. And here's the thing, LaWanda and Big Wanda, y'all goofy because y'all literally went to this lady just to find out if Terry was going to be in the family for the long run. Really? That's the type of family y'all is? That y'all believe in that type of stuff? So of course, mind you, this psychic tells her anything. She like, oh, it's a new addition to your family, this, that, and the third. LaWanda and Big Wanda take that as her being pregnant. No, baby, the new addition to your family is Marquisha. Okay? Let's talk about that and her kids. That's the new addition. You got Meech and Terry showing up to K9 Club, and then they bump into Razor, and they basically tell Razor what the plan is. Like, look, so we plan on backdooring him, stealing Connect, this, that, and the third. He like, well, I'm not doing that. And then he like, Meech like, nigga, I think you should get in on it, like, because it's about to go down like this one way or another. So he like, all right, give me 10% or whatever y'all make. Shit, Meech like, that's nothing. I can definitely give you the 10%. So Meech like, all right, bet, I give you the 10%. Cool. He like, make the call. He like, nah, I need to make sure shit is all cool before I do all of that. Now, my whole thing is, if K9 not trying to pay the nigga, then he need to let everything go down the way it needs to go down so that he can bow out gracefully. So, in the midst of them having a conversation, Razor agrees to work with Meech and them, and then you hear this gunshot, and this nigga K9 that shot his bitch in the face. Now, I felt crazy because I could have swore that Razor called the lady that he shot Aunt D, and I swear that he called the lady that he shot my K9. So I'm thinking like, damn, there ain't no way that could have been his mother, right? He wouldn't have shot his mother. He wouldn't have shot his mother, but then I'm thinking like, all right, he could have said Ma could be like, you know, hey Ma, or Ma, like, I don't know. Or Johnny Gill, Ma. Like, but I don't think that means his mother. But again, it could have been, because why would he call her aunt and then he call her Ma? But that confused me. So after he does that, he leaves her on the ground and then instructs all the people in the room to basically like just dip out the room and keep the party going. And they all walk over this lady on the ground while she's bleeding out. So in the car leaving from there, Terry is telling Meech like, you think that this is the nigga that we should be trying to backdoor at the end of the day? He literally just shot his bitch in the face. And you think that this is the nigga that we need to be trying to double cross? And then on top of that, if Razor is willing to turn on his family, what makes you think he won't turn on us? So they know that they need a translator when they go down there. But Terry is saying, look, I don't care how we translate. We're not taking him with us because... But Terry got a point because y'all are brothers. Y'all need to look out for each other. That nigga is a cousin of a nigga who he just double crossed. Terry might very well be right. He ain't the man that y'all need to trust with this situation. So, and then Meech like, you can't translate, Terry. You did 2 semesters of high school Spanish. You gonna get our asses killed. And Terry gives him the genius idea. Here's the thing. Meech has been very much no guns the entire show. Terry gives him the idea of bringing guns to the meeting. And Meech like, nigga, no. He like, nigga, that's a horrible ass idea for real. Because he like, how can we build trust with these niggas if we go in there with guns? They're going to automatically think that it's about to be some shit. Like, and he might be right. Now, it's a risk. But it could end up as a benefit. So you go in, you go with the guns. Say you go with the guns, and they feel offended by the fact that you brought the guns, and there's no deal, or they kill you. Like the two of y'all against a whole cartel, y'all wasn't gonna win anyway. So why bring the guns? So I find out exactly what Markeisha does. She's like a flight travel coordinator, this, that, or a travel agent or whatever. So Terry goes into her job. And he talks to the next attendant. He curves her. He curves Markeisha. So he asks the girl at the counter about reservations for everything, you know, for their trip to St. Martin, this, that, and the third. And Markeisha basically intervenes and start talking about the languages that they speak in St. Martin's, this, that, and the third, minding his fucking business. But my whole thing is, girl, didn't you write him a letter and tell him that he was a child and he couldn't do shit for you or your kids? And then he tells them they can throw away the family brochures because he's no longer in that business. Of course, she's intrigued because she like, oh, he going to St. Martin's and he not in the family car business no more. So what he doing? He must be making some big dough now. So just like she predicted, Monique was able to call this nigga up probably one time, this nigga Lamar, and he shows up at the house. First moments he blamed Blackie. Blackie ass is disassociated from the world. Honestly, Blackie just don't want to be here no more. Like, mind you, Blackie looks better, not completely bruised up and patched up like he was at first, but Blackie still don't look good. Now, Monique is sitting here basically playing Lamar like a fiddle. She done told this man Lamar that he's actually Zoe's father, getting his hopes up, because at the end of the day, that's all Lamar ever wanted. That's all Lamar ever wanted was Zoe to be his daughter. Now, she playing it good. Let me tell you, she's playing it good. She like, look, a lot to happen between us. And considering I know what's going on with you, far as you not, you know, you probably won't be able to reproduce. You already got your little colostomy bag. And then you got this stupid ass dog. He like, I don't want to really keep you from your daughter. So I'm like, damn. So, of course, you know, they agree to take it slow or whatever the case may be. But again, this is Monique setting up a whole play. And like I said, I think it's going to be successful, but it can't be but so successful because in real life, the nigga Lamar is still not dead. So Lamar try to go for the hug, nigga. You just know you're not hugging that lady. Sir, you smacked that lady up in the bathroom or grabbed her up by her head. You're not hugging that lady right now. It was worth a try, Lamar. It was, but it wasn't going to work. So after he leave, she like, shit, she pulled a motherfucking strap. I'm like, damn, she was going to bang on him right then and there. Because for real, she could have did it, man. Right then and there. Because Black E was out of commission. It wasn't like Black E was going to jump on Monique. I mean, I don't know. Let me not lie. That damn dog is crazy. Probably would have jumped on her ass. So, of course, LaWanda comes and tells Terry that the palm reader / janky ass Miss Cleo lady then told her that she's pregnant without even taking a pregnancy test. So Terry is really firm about like false prophets and shit like that. And both of them is running around preaching this stuff about God, this, that, and the third. And they both are going against the grain regardless. He's a whole drug dealer and she knows he's a drug dealer and is willing to keep her mouth shut about everything that's going on. So Terry's talking about, I don't blame him. He told her, first of all, get all my shit back from that lady. Because unless you're about to take a test, I don't believe that you're pregnant. So, again, why do Markeisha keep hanging out with this child? And then Terry all like, I thought you was never going to talk to me again after what happened. She all apologizing about how he acted. She like, you're not a boy. He is a boy. He's a little ass boy at that. Like, you need to calm down. So he telling her, like, if shit go well with the Colombians, I'll be able to take care of you and the kids, so you ain't even got to worry. And look at her. She love it. Because at the end of the day, all she really worried about is if a nigga got bread for her. She want to just be kept. And if that's the case, no shade, baby. Go ahead, keep getting your ass whooped by boom. Like, if you want to get kept, this, that, and the third, just keep doing that. Now, one thing I can say about her is she do be teaching Terry how to man up in the business world. She like basically letting him know like you're the closer. And I know what she mean by that. She like Meech is the one that comes up with the brilliant ideas, but you be the one that can execute them because you know how to sit in rooms and talk to people. That's why she called him the closer, and I like that because she's not lying. Terry do be the one that has to come through and swoop and close deals because Meech ass is just too extra sometimes. Just like the shit with Big L. Big L would have never met with Meech. Big L would have never did business with Meech, but she was willing to do it with Terry because Terry understands how to be low key while also knowing the business. So him and Markeisha sitting out there on the curb, chit-chatting. You know, he get a little rose. They get to dancing because it's like a violinist or somebody out there and playing music. And they dancing. And he ends up telling her that there's a possibility that LaWanda could be pregnant. And I'm just like, what do you think she's going to say? Like, what do you think he's going to say? And then Terry busts out, he's not in love with LaWanda. He's in love with her. Love? Have y'all even... you can't even take her home to your mama house. And you talking about love. So you got Nikki, Wanda, LaWanda, and Lucille all at the house. Now, why do people think that they can come into people's houses and then try to tell them about their kids? Why do people think that? So Big Wanda coming in and she basically tell Lucille, like, I think you need to do something with your boy because the way he talked to her, the way he talked to my baby was crazy. And and don't call my daughter an obligation. Yes. They are obligations because they're not together. Just because she took his son and then came back because she thought that she was running shit, her and Lucille. No. And then the mother literally basically telling Lucille, like, you ain't doing your job as a mother. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? But you let your daughter get knocked up by a nigga while she was in high school. So who's really not doing their job? And like Lucille said, one thing about family is, she said, we're going to take care of family. So if you do have another baby, he's going to do whatever he need to do to take care of it. Now, I don't know what's wrong with this nigga Charles. So he takes the fake ass night shift and come to find out the night shift is him hanging out with fucking Mabel at a strip club. Now, again, I have a idea that Mabel is like a madam. If you remember that episode when her and Charles danced for the first time, that lady walked up and was like, yeah, Mabel, we got us another one. Who is we? And what does she mean by that? Now, seeing this scene with her in the strip club with Charles, I'm thinking like, as direct and aggressive as she was with the bitch that worked there, I'm like, hold up, yo. She seemed like she might be the boss of this place. So, you know, she told the girl basically to give Charles a lap dance, this, that, and the third. Charles is in a public strip club with his side bitch. And he getting his little lap dance. And he look up and he look over and Meech is right across the fucking room. Now, they hit the perfect cinematography because what they did was, while Meech looked over, it was like somebody had stepped in front of the situation to block out Charles. And it looked like Charles basically told maybe like, bitch, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And by the time that person moved, Charles was gone. So Meech probably thinking like, damn, did I actually see him? But Meech had stared at them long enough to know that he actually saw Charles. And then Mabel was like damn near nibbling on his ear. So it ain't no way for him to duck that whole thing. Like he seen what he saw in your court, Charles. So here's the thing. Meech is legit trying to find B. Mickey. Like, he really feels like because B. Mickey told him before he told them anything or turned any of them over, he feels like that's still his man's. So, and the next thing you got Nikki busting up into her room and she all pressed because she thinks she about to be an auntie again. No, she's crazy. The palm reader's crazy. The mother's crazy. She's not pregnant. She's not pregnant. So Nikki coming in and she asked about condoms and shit. So, or about sex and shit. So Terry start like basically showing her how to use a condom and then she get all freaked out. And I'm just like, what you all freaked out for? You came in here talking that shit like you was grown. Right. On the way out that scene, Charles' nervous ass basically gonna ask Terry like, hey, you heard from your brother? Yeah, I bet you worried. I bet you worried about if this nigga Meech gonna rat you out. about running around with this bitch that you supposed to be broke up with last episode. We knew you didn't. We knew you couldn't have. I knew you wasn't gonna break up with him, bro. You can't help yourself, Charles. So Terry and Meech, they got their luggage. They on their way. They about to go to St. Martin. Now, again, just the two of them in St. Martin, I don't know. The country. Why did y'all feel like y'all had to wear them big ass, flashy ass chains? If anything, y'all drawing attention to yourselves for real, for real. And of course, they walking through the hotel, this, that, and the third. They chilling. You know, they scoping out the lay of the land. Now, it's been this one woman that basically been following them the whole time since they got there. One thing about Meech is Meech love the bitches, so Meech then set his eyes on this one girl. He didn't set to play with her. And I'm thinking like, bro, one thing I've read as far as like traveling out the country is you never link up with the bitches that look like prostitutes out the country, because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get robbed, and that's exactly what happened to them. So the lady come in, she freaking on Meech and shit whole time. She get up, 2 niggas run up in the room, knock Meech clear out, steal their luggage. Steals their luggage. So Brian and Jen, of course, meet up with his little medical manufacturer, and they get the bricks. So they take him back to Smitty, and Smitty all like, boy, you cut it close with these bricks now. And of course, they proud as shit because they think that they didn't gotta win. Yeah, y'all gotta win for now, but them real books is still out there somewhere. So here's my thing. What if them shits get found in whole, and they might still have the markings on them that y'all put on y'all shit when y'all put it in the evidence? What happens when that shit happens? So, of course, he offers dinner to Brian. Now, on their way out of the office, the dude come in, he like, look, I didn't develop those pictures, you know, from y'all stakeout or whatever. He like, boy, they look real spicy too. So I'm thinking like, not him and Jen and took some pictures of Terry eating the coochie and then they just passing them around and shit. Like, what are y'all doing? So, of course, when Meech and Terry get to the Colombian dude house, Terry tell Meech, like, look, when we get in here, I'm going to do all the talking. But see, the thing about Terry is he don't be understanding how, like, foreigners are. Like, even the smallest thing can be considered disrespectful to them. So he offered him a cigar, and Meech took his, but Terry rejected the request on the cigar, and automatically Yo didn't like that. So he was willing to converse with Meech over conversing with Terry. So they get into this pool area, and in the pool area is the girl that Meech had the little session with in their luggage. So I'm thinking like, damn, this whole thing was a fucking setup. And I said, why would they come there? Even if they was coming there on behalf of K9 or they was coming there on behalf of themselves, why the fuck wouldn't they check them out or know, like, or have eyes on them? So, of course, Jen and Brian, like I said, they thought that this was the master play anyway. So they didn't basically show one of the pictures of Terry eating Marquisha pussy and this, that, and the third. And she is like crushed. Because I'm just like, damn, she's so crushed like that. He must not be eating her pussy at all. Like, at all. Like, if she is that crushed, he ain't munching on her at all. And Jen and them, of course, they telling her like, you know, considering y'all not married, there's no spousal situation here. You know, you can tell us whatever. And my thing with that is, what do LaWanda know? LaWanda don't know nothing. So them coming in there trying to apply pressure on her is bullshit because she don't know shit. She don't. I mean, she's hurt. She's hurt by the situation, which we all knew she was going to be hurt by the situation. But you're goofy for thinking that man wasn't going to try to find somebody else after you ran off with his baby. So we back at the pool area with Meech and the guy, and he like, look, take your shit off, like, you know, so I can see if you wearing a wire. So, you know, eventually he get in the pool and he have a meeting with the dude, and the guy got the whole thing mixed up. He talking to him as if he was supposed to be delivering fucking K9's $20 million, this, that, and the third. And Meech like, that ain't why I'm here. And he like, why did you bring the guns? He like, why wouldn't I be prepared? You know, my brother thought it was a good idea for me to be prepared. He like, we still came alone, and I want you to know that regardless of anything, we're going to always show up no matter what. So, again, like I said, he got it confused. And Meech like, I ain't no motherfucking middleman. He said, let me let you know something. I'm here to have y'all to move for y'all. I'm trying to build a direct connect. And then they keep talking about prepared to kill K9 so Razor can take over. No, Razor then made a whole nother plan with y'all. And that's not what's going on. He like, look, whatever you and K9 got going on with you and K9, that's y'all. He like, I'm not no middleman. I'm trying to set a whole new foundation with y'all. He like, look, you supply us, we take K9 debt, which is the 20 million with the profits in exchange for his life. Okay, your partners want him dead, but bodies attract heat. So at the end of the day, why would you even do that when you gonna have hella turf wars? And the nigga is like, you know, has this happened before for us, the turf wars and shit like that? He like, I don't like turf wars. I don't like losing women. I don't like losing family. This, that, and the third. So he like, all right, cool. He like, I understand. So he brings in Terry. And Terry comes in and does exactly what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to close. So he come in and he talk his straight business shit. Now, he receives that. And the bitch receives it because the lady, I was thinking like, damn, is he really the boss or is she really the boss? Because she was having too much to say, in my opinion. Like, she just was having too much to say. So I just was unsure of who actually was the boss in that situation. Now, Terry telling them, because of the drought, you front us 100 keys, we could charge whatever we want for it. And we can definitely go, you're going to make money, we're going to make money, we're going to all be good. And what the dude tell Meech, straight off rip, your brother's rude. Oh, he shouldn't have turned down the man cigar. Even if he wasn't going to smoke it, I'd have just took it and I'd walked around with it. And I'd have gave the illusion. And Meech tell the dude, like, look, bro, one thing I know about the two of us, we speak the same language, money. So these niggas go from trying to get 100 keys to getting 300 keys from the nigga. I'm like, whoa, y'all got too much. Y'all need to calm down. But I mean, they do got Atlanta, and then they also got Detroit, and then I guess they might have Cleveland since they didn't went up there and put the smack down on the cousins. So they like, how the fuck is we gonna get these keys there? The lady told them like, nigga, they already there. I'm like, damn. Not delivered 300 keys before you even knew if the deal was gonna go through. I said that means they really did their research on them. Whether they think that man knew that they was coming there to backdoor K9 or not, they did their research. Because they already had the shit shipped. They did their research. Either that or they were all on board with Razor being the boss. One of the two. So, like I said, Brian offered to buy food, so eventually, you know, they end up at the house. And I'm just like, why is Jen going to his house? Like, why are they hanging out after work? Like, I told y'all I don't want no shit with them two. Like, I don't. And then Jen playing around with the kids and this, that, and the third. And Brian just standing there watching. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, so now Brian fell in love with Jen. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for none of that. Like, it's weird. She's new. He grieving his old partner. She just ain't had none in a minute. And I just think that they just doing too much. Like, so we end up at a dog doctor, I guess, what they call it, a veterinarian. We end up there with Lamar and Alvin, and the vet basically telling Lamar, based on all the dog fighting that dog done been through, Blackie ain't shit. Blackie ass is basically not gonna make it. And that you should probably put the dog down. So Alvin like, damn, sorry to hear that. Lamar like, nigga, you don't give a fuck about my dog. He like, look, even if I don't care about your dog, I still feel bad for you. You feel me? Lamar tell him, Blackie gonna keep eating your dinners because he ain't giving up. I said, oh my God. I said, and the crazy thing is, he probably gonna end up nursing his dog back to health. So I don't think it's that wild of an idea. But I think, Lamar, you got enough going on that you don't need to be worrying about this dog, especially when you up in somebody else's house. Especially when you up in somebody else's house. So, of course, I get the one thing I did not ask for. We get the one thing we as fans did not ask for. Brian and Jen kissing. Like, what the fuck? Why? Why? What's the point? The shit not sexy. It's not sexy. It's not cute. It's a fucking mess. And now she's conflicted. She never gonna be able to see Brian for who he really is, which is a fucking dirty ass, conniving ass cop. So at the end of the day, now she's sucked in completely. But Lil Kevin seen that shit and he don't look too happy. I don't know if he's still grieving his mother or whatever the case may be, this, that, and the third. So Meech and Terry go to the shipping yard where they didn't put all the motherfucking keys in a shipping container in the backs of computer screens. So they checking it out, and from a distance, it looked like somebody about to shoot them. And then the PA niggas end up shooting Razor. So Sterling come up like, yeah, you already know. So he like, nigga, I already knew K-Line was gonna cross us. I mean, Razor was gonna cross us, so we had to do what we had to do. He like, so Terry like, what's gonna happen with K-9 now that we done stole his connect and killed his cousin? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, he either gonna get down on it. So we in the church seeing the Pastor Swift up there or whatever, and you know, he doing his scripture, and Lamar busts up in the church with that dead ass dog, and I'm just like, Lamar, they told you needed to put Blackie down, bro. Now you just walking around looking crazy holding the damn dog, like, bro, let the dog go. So Lamar coming in, he gets pissed because Pastor Swift is telling him, like, bro, you need to get out of here. Like, I can't save your dog. And he basically end up calling him a fraud, this, that, and the third. He tells him, like, I am basically the Lord's shepherd. Like, I am not really, like, the Lord. I don't have the power to save your dog. He like basically Lamar pissed off, and he like, you got all these people putting their money and their faith behind your fraud ass, this, that, and the third. Lucille started realizing that that's the nigga that was at her house. So she like telling people like, bitch, that man is dangerous, this, that, and the third. He like, look, you in the Lord's house. You don't want no beef with us. Go away and get out of here, right? So Lamar say, oh, you ain't know these people pay their tithes and taxes to me? This my shit, right? So Pastor Swift steps around the podium and he straight pulls out this gold gun, and he tell him like, you need to go away, get out of here, brother. Go get out of here. And these dudes in some suits stand up, and I'm like, oh, this a gully church. I'm like, oh, this is a gutter church. Like, I said, oh, Pastor Swift pulled that thing on him. Lamar was like, he wasn't expecting that. Lamar wasn't expecting that. And for the pastor to go from pulling out the strap on Lamar to going right back to telling the sermon was crazy as shit to me. And the people was receiving it. I'm like, you know what? This might be my type of church. I ain't even about to front you. Like, So of course Terry come home and LaWanda like, oh, I guess eating pussy ain't against your religion. She like, nigga, I got the pictures. So she come throwing the pictures in his face, and he think she following him. And I'm like, nigga, you think she got money? You think she got money to be running around paying somebody to stalk you? She like, that older bitch, so you really gonna abandon your family for an older bitch? Now she called her auntie, yo. That had me dead. Her LaWanda calling Markeisha auntie had me dead. And of course, she did the one thing that she probably wasn't supposed to do. Tell him that Brian was looking for him. Yeah. So now he know he need to watch his ass now. Thanks for covering for me, even though you wasn't trying to cover for me, boo. Thank you. So B Mickey ass finally gets out the fucking trunk. He gets out the trunk, and let me tell you, the boy look crazy. The boy like he ain't about a wig. He looked like he been just rolling around in motor oil for real. So, of course, it had to happen, the meeting of the minds. So you got Meech at the record store, and you know Charles walking, and Charles just being weird, talking about the music, and Meech like, that's the first secular album you ever let us listen to in the house. He was like, look, I was just trying to get y'all boys connected to the music, this, that, and the third. And he like, listen, Meech, I know you saw what you saw, but I love my family, this, that, and the third. I'm not doing nothing, da-da-da-da-da. Meech like, look, I don't know. He like, I never could be with one woman, so I commend you for just being with mine for just as long as you were. I'm like, shit, Meech. So Meech like, I'm not about to rat you out. He like, because the heartache of me telling my mother that you cheating on her would be way worse than just letting you do your business. Like, I'm not about to hurt my mother like that. She been through too much when it came to me and Terry. Like, I'm not about to add to that. And then Charles trying to say him and Meech not alike. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? You're a womanizer, just like your son. What do you mean? Granted, of course you're not blaming Lucille for your infidelity, but at the end of the day, bro, she gonna feel like it's her fault. She gonna feel like it's her fault. So Charles, just know you got a man's. You got a man's on your son. He's not gonna rat you out. Like, you all good. You all to the good. Of course, you know, as that meeting wraps up with Charles and Meech, he get a page and it's K9. And K9 like, you know, call them into the club. And he like, well, you tell me what's up. And he like, ain't no need holding back no more. So Meech straight tell him like, one thing I can say is Meech handle situations like a grown man every time. He like, look, he like, an opportunity opened up to us. We would be fools not to have jumped on it. What I did was I made a move for us. He said the worst move about it was that Razor was going to betray everybody. And he like, and we took care of that nigga. So he like, yeah, and yes, and another thing, he cleared K9's debt and spared his life, all for Razor life. I'm like, not only do you get to keep your $20 million, but you get to keep your life too. I think they did you a solid, bro. I really did. So at the end of the day, you're not even mad for real. K9's not even mad. K9 was trying to get out the game anyway. And you just know with them big ass connects that you can't leave unless you got somebody to take over. And he's saying he already knew what Razor was up to. Now, for me, again, that's what I say about this nigga K9. That's the type of shit that makes me think he's crazy. Because he is okay with the fact that Meech killed his cousin and stole his connect. He basically fucking put the crown on him. Like, he puts the crown on Meech. Like, you the boss now. I'm like, huh? I'm like, what? I'm like, what is going on? I'm just like, wow. So, while they wrapping that meeting up, Markeisha end up calling Terry on the cell, and she's crying boo horn. And she like, Terry, I might need your help. And you see the police in the background asking her for a statement. She done bust this nigga Boom over the head. I said, well, did she kill him? Did she kill him? Because if she ain't kill him, it's like, what did you do? So Terry like, why won't you just leave? And Markeisha basically does what she does every time Terry tells her she should leave, which is probably the smart thing. Talking about, you don't know what you talking about. This is grown people stuff. You a kid. You don't know. What's grown people stuff? Getting your ass whooped every week by this nigga? And then because he buy you a fur, you let it rock? No. No, I don't know about that. And if that's grown people shit, let me stay a child. Because that's bullshit, Markeisha. So she like, can you just take me home so I can go to the hospital and visit him? Bitch, you know what? I should have never came. I would have never came if I knew you was going to sit in my car and talk this silly ass shit to me. Like, how can you be mad at Terry because he feel like you deserve better? And then you talking about Boom, only the father of one of your kids? Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of here. He only one of your baby father? Come on, yo. Get him out of here, yo. She should have just killed him for real. She should have just killed him for real. Like, so Mickey ends up showing up at the facility where they was keeping his mother, and you know, he puts the wristband on because, you know, I guess that's his usual routine. You know, he go and put the wristband on, asks to see his mother for visitation or whatever. The lady like, boy, we've been paging you for the last 2 days. Your mother passed 2 days ago. And that shit hit Mickey like a ton of bricks. Like, I'm not even about to lie. Like, you can just see it in his eyes. Like, the fact that he was held captive by this nigga Bryant, and in the midst of all that, his mother died and he wasn't there. The gloves is off. Bryant better watch out. Bryant whole family better watch out. Jim better watch out. Shit not gonna be good. Mickey gonna be on the tear. You could see it. After he got them couple tears out, you could see that killer in his eye. So, Bryant, count your fucking days. Listen. That's BMF Season 2, Episode 7. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what y'all think.